This
Okay.
conference will now be recorded.
Okay. So all the scripting side, Qlik and Qlik Sense will share the same technology. Okay. And only the front end part, Qlik Sense and Qlik differs. So we'll see complete differences between Qlik and Qlik Sense. Okay, which is better at all. Okay. So let me go jump on directly onto the Qlik Sense. What is Qlik Sense? Qlik Sense has a tool, we call it the next generation BI tool. Okay, self-service visual analytics. Why is it self-service? Is here an end user, okay, who is a non-technical guy, an end user who is a decision maker, can also build his own dashboards. Okay. It is more like a self-service. It is a zero footprint tool. Means an user need not download any application to his local desktop or local or hardware. Okay, he can completely build the dashboard on the browser itself.
Okay.
Okay, so that's the uniqueness of Qlik Sense. And Qlik Sense and QlikView share the same engine, which is called the backend engine, the associated engine, which is called Qlik Engine. Okay, both the tools share the same engine. Whereas QlikView is a guided analytics. Okay, and I think there is a connection issue in between. Can you go on mute?
Are you asking me to turn?
Turn on to mute because I get a lot of disturbance actually. Okay,
Before we continue, will you be sharing the slides with us?
I'll be sharing the recording sessions to you and few slides also. And there's a lot of documentation. I'll be sharing the documentation for each and every topic.
So is it after the end of our session we will be receiving it, or all together once?
All together once we'll be receiving the documentations, because there's a lot of documentation. Sending it daily, it would be tough for me since I wouldn't be remembering. So all the documentation I'll be sending at once. It is already zipped, and so I'll be sending all the documentations. Okay, and assignments when we cover the topics, we'll work on the assignments or a few practice things. Okay.
At least we would get the session, right? I mean, whatever you're recording.
Recording session immediately. Yes, recording session we'll get. So I'll be sending you a link. I'll be sending the link where you can download the recording session. Okay, it can be GoToMeeting a link or my G Drive link.
That works. Thank you.
Okay, so I'll be sending the recording session. That's the reason I'm recording. Okay, so Qlik as a tool is promoting more on the Qlik Sense rather than QlikView. Why? Because one of the reason is Qlik also has a cognitive engine, which can, by reading the data, it can prepare its own visualizations. You don't need to write a single line of a script. Okay, so by reading its data, you can ask the questions. As per your questions, it can design the visualizations for yourself. Okay, based on the data, based on the data dimensions and measures, it creates a visualizations by itself. As per your need, you can use it or you can recreate them once again. So that's the power of Qlik Sense. Now let's go to the what is the core technology of Qlik Sense? How does it work at the back end? So Qlik Sense is called an associative in-memory tool. Whether it's a QlikView or a Qlik Sense, both are associative in-memory tools. Okay, when I say associative in-memory tools, they form an associative data model. When you load a data from multiple tables, let's suppose you load multiple tables. What exactly you do in a Tableau? You try to create joins, right? Maybe it's a left join or a right join. Here also same thing. We try to link the tables. Okay, and that is called an associativeness. Okay, which is with primary key and a foreign key. We try to associate the tables as you see it here in the diagram, and we That is called a data model. We created a data model, and the linking between a fact table and a dimension tables. Okay, here we build a schemas, a star schema, a snowflake schema. We'll understand what are the star schema, schema. Okay, so Qlik, if you're learning QlikView or a Qlik Sense, it's just not a tool. You have to learn a database terminology also, data warehouse concepts also. Okay, so then only you can build the best Qlik dashboards. Okay, so we build an associative data model where we link a fact table with our dimension tables, and the linking here is called associativeness, and by default the associativeness is nothing but an outer join. Okay, so where it will get all the data from all the tables, and as a user selects, the whole data model gets impacted, and user can see all the data at all the time. And there are three associative principles which forms. If you see there are three colors at the front end, you can see, and end user can see three associative principles. What are these? Is green, white, and gray colors. Means when a user selects something, let's suppose I say I would want to select a particular, I would want to see the data for a particular country. Select country. So the country would be highlighted in green, and the related data to country would be white. It can be country's sales information, countries who is working in that country. Okay, what are the cities belongs to that country? All the information about the country. It is not from one particular table. It's from the on which date. So it'll be a calendar information, a date, month, quarter. For a particular transactions, all the information would be shown in a white color, where whatever country was selected, and whatever is not selected would be in a gray color, or whatever is not related to data is not selected, it is not related data to the particular country, is gray color. Let me show this society principles on the dashboard. So let's go to one of the dashboard, a few dashboards. Let's take a consumer sales, simple. So this is a Qlik Sense desktop application, and this is called Qlik Sense Desktop Hub. It will work like hub and spoke. All of your application will be stored in a single location. So you cannot define where you would want to store. It will be always stored in a single location. Okay, in a single folder path. I'll show you where the folder path later. So let's go to this application. So this is one of the dashboard. We have multiple sheets. Okay, so let me go to first a KPI dashboard. Okay. So let's suppose, so multiple graphs, let's not understand. When I select produce, okay, let me go to a, rather than this, I would want a filter pane. Let me select on a table. See, as soon as I select something, okay, it can be a filter pane or it can be a table. When I select, as I said, it turns into green. Okay, and I approve my selection, whatever data, okay, the complete data gets filtered across your visualizations, across your sheets. Okay, when I expand it here, you see whatever is selected is in green. The unselected, these are lighter gray. Actually, this means other possible option of your selection. Okay, the associated data would show in a white color. So let me show you in a table, so it will be very clear how this works. So let's create a bit of two filter panes. Maybe I'll select city. Let me select product. We also add a customer. Okay. Let's say these are your 3 objects. When I select a city, as I said, turn into green. You see everything. All the information is always visible. Okay. But now Akron is a city. This city we have selected is green. The products which are sold in this city are these are the 4 products. Okay. And the customer in this city is or City Fresh Foods. I think this is a retail store. Okay, so he is one of the customer. So he also in gray color, in a white color, white background. So the related data would be in a white background. The unrelated, you see, this is a lighter gray, this is a darker gray. This is unassociated data to the city. Okay, these are other possible selections. Okay, apart from Akron city, you can go ahead and select anything else also. Okay, you always see all the data irrespective of your selection or not, but as you select, the data gets filtered. Okay, and whatever data is associated would be only in white color. Unassociated data not related to a particular city, okay, would be grayed out, dark grayed out. This is called associative principles. 3 colors: green, white, and gray. These are the standard format. Okay, that's how your data model works. So an end user can see all the data always, but as per his selection, you can filter out the data. Now, as we also saw, you can go ahead your selections from any direction. It not like your predefined directions like query-based tools where you say I would want to go. You have to join in specific directions. Okay, if you want to reach to a story, you did not go to specific direction and say select only few items and rest all would be not visible. Okay, but in an associative data model, you can, it is a dynamic association. You can explore in any direction. Okay, like I selected, I can select a customer, I can select a product, I can select a city. Okay, in any direction I can select it. Not that I can just go for city, then product, then customer. Okay, when I go back to when we said I can go back and select a particular customer. Let's suppose I say A to Z solutions, I select, say whatever products he has sold or he has brought, I can see the products and which city he belongs to, I can see North Highlands. Or whether I say I would go and select products, okay, the others will get filtered. So wherever, in whichever direction I would want, I can go ahead and filter, not in one direction, like city, product, and customer. I can go to customer, then I can go to city, or I can go to product, customer, city. Any direction I can go ahead and filter. Okay, so that's the reason user can see the whole story always. So all the data is always visible. Okay. The next is what? I said associative in memory, right? The next is your in-memory technology. What happens here is, so the in-memory here is very strong because whenever we try to build a dashboard, you always look to see, okay, how to optimize your dashboard in terms of how, because Qlik always works on the in-memory means when you try to load data from your databases, okay, into your application, where does it store first? It will store all the data into your RAM memory. Okay, so the capacity of your RAM derives how fast is your Qlik Sense dashboard works. Okay, let's suppose I load 10 GB of data onto my applications. I would want to load 10 GB of data from my database to my application, but my RAM size is only 4 GB, right? Most of our laptops are 4 GB or 8 GB. Keep about server aside at this point of time. I'm saying we are talking about the desktop application. Let's suppose it is just 4 GB or 8 GB. So what does happens at this point of time? It cannot store all the 10 GB, right? But what does Qlik try to do is, when loading data from your database to your application, it compresses the data at a ratio of what? 10:1 ratio, the data gets compressed. Means if you try to load 10 GB of data to your application size should become 1 GB only. Means why does it becomes 1 GB? Because it is trying to compress at the ratio of 10:1. Okay, you may ask you how, what is the technology it is working behind? How is it compressing so much? So what does it tries to do is it converts. So one thing is 10 GB. My data size is 10 GB. Okay, out of this 10 GB, how many records are distinct records by each column? That is also key criteria. So what does it does is, if let's suppose a column has same name, let's suppose the customer name is repeated 1,000 times because a customer has done 1,000 transactions, right? His name will be repeated 1,000 times. But I don't want to store 1,000 times his name. What I'll store is, let's suppose maybe in this case like Joe's Pizza, I'll store only one time his name. All other 999 times he would be stored in a binary format. That number or the string or number would be converted into binary format, because binary consumes lesser space than your string or alphanumeric or a number. Okay, so what does Qlik try to do is basically on the RAM usage. So the most important factor in Qlik Sense RAM usage is the number of distinct data points in a given field, not the number of records. Okay, so loading the first field into Qlik Sense will consume approximately 1/10 of the amount of the RAM that loading the second field will consume. So every time you load a value or load a field, okay, that's the amount, because it is trying to compress, it's trying to see the distinct data points for each of your field. If you have multiple fields, a distinct data points for each of the field, and each field it will create a binary index. Creates a binary index for each of the field. That's the reason it is able to compress your data such a high level. Okay, 90% compression happens. Okay, so Qlik Sense uses an associated in-memory technology to allow users to analyze and process data very quickly. Unique entries are only stored once in memory. Everything else are pointers to the parent data. Is it clear? These two things very important in terms of understanding the core functionality of any applications. Okay, whenever you start working on any dashboards or any applications, whether it's a Tableau or how is the core functionality, then only you can build a better dashboards. Okay, one is the associative, one is the in memory. Now let me go on to the next topics on the architecture part. Qlik Sense or QlikView, we call it as a three-tier architecture. Okay, whenever someone asks somewhere in interviews, you can call it as it's a three-tier architecture. Here, what we do is we have a data source layer. On a data source, like multiple databases, so Qlik can connect to any databases you name it. It can be your SAP ERP platforms, flat files, or a Salesforce, okay, or normally your RDBMS systems, Oracle, SQL, okay. Any database it can connect, multiple data access layers. From there, so you have these are the in between these are your different services, okay, which run at the back end. We'll discuss about the services. When you load a data, so where a developer work on his local desktop or on the web browser in terms of QlikView, in terms of Qlik Sense. If it is a QlikView, he has to work on the local desktop only. QlikView development does not happen on the browser version. It happens on a local desktop, but Qlik Sense development can happen on the browser. Okay, so I'll show you the difference where how the browser application works. I have an enterprise application access, so I'll show you the enterprise side also of Qlik Sense. Okay, so while loading the data and your final applications, okay, so the end user loads the data, creates something called QVDs. So means you extract the data, store the data in form of QVDs, okay, which is nothing but QlikView data files. Like in Tableau, you have TWX, right? TW workbooks. or data files, DWD, or what is it? Now we call it as hyper files. In the same thing, here also we have QVDs. Each table can be one QVD. Okay, we'll load those QVDs into application and build a dashboard. So while doing all of these operations, these are the services which run at the back end. We are a scheduler services to refresh our data at regular intervals. We are repository services. Okay, so this help you to store your metadata and security information. And your engine, this is a core Qlik engine, which help you to create your logic, your associative principles, okay, all your calculations. Everything is controlled by Qlik engine. And you have proxy services which help act as a gateway. Okay, it'll help you to authenticate, okay, to a proper user, okay, who can access a dashboard or not. Okay, how all of these services are controlled through a console called Qlik Management Console, QMC. Okay, this is also again an admin part. We'll also be looking in our course period this part also. Okay, and we publish the dashboard to a web browser. So Qlik Sense is built on HTML5 web client. Okay, so very rich applications, and end user would be accessing like any other web portal. It just has to log in and he can view his dashboards. Is it clear the architecture part? Any doubts? Ramkrishna, Pavani?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, Ravi, I'm okay.
Okay, and to understand the architecture very neatly, because this is how you've been doing development. Okay, so as a developer, you may not be working on any of these services because these are controlled by an admin team, but the developmental lifecycle is what you need to understand. Okay. Same slide. Now, as I said, Qlik engine, the QX engine is a Qlik indexing engine. QX engine is nothing but Qlik indexing engine. So it derives the power of associative model. It helps you to data integration, compress your binary index, all your logical inferences, and your dynamic calculations. Everything is taken care by this QX engine. This engine is same for both QlikView and Qlik Sense. So that's the reason your scripting is same in both the tools. So when this engine is same from QlikView 12 version onwards, okay, so Qlik and Qlik Sense share the same engine. Now we'll also understand what are the different product family in Qlik Sense. There are three types of products in Qlik Sense. One is a Qlik Sense desktop. It is for an individual use only. Your Qlik Sense cloud for a smaller business, okay, who cannot afford an enterprise version. Enterprise is for a larger organizations. Okay, but enterprise and cloud both are your browser versus browser UI. But SaaS, cloud is a SaaS based model, means software as a service. You pay as per you use. Let's suppose you say I'm a small business unit. I just need to store only a maximum 50 GB of data, and I have only for 5 to 10 users. So as per that only I will be purchasing my license, okay, which is completely controlled. So you don't need to set up any environment for yourself. It is completely, because that is a SaaS model. You already know this. It's completely controlled by Qlik. Okay, you just have to buy the space for them, a monthly subscription. Okay, it's just like a subscription based model. You just buy for a limited number of users and limited number of space. Okay, whereas enterprise is completely in-house. You set up your servers, you set up your number of licenses. Okay, and both enterprise and cloud are a mobile friendly applications. Means, as I said, Qlik Sense is a HTML5. Okay, it auto adjusts the screen size. Once you build your dashboard, okay, you can access from any application. It can be mobile, or it can be tab, or it can be a laptop. You can access your dashboard from anywhere. It auto adjusts. You don't need to build like a specific screen size also. whatever the screen says, it automatically takes it up. And the additional functionality in enterprise is you can embed or integrate to a different app, any other web page. Once you build a dashboard, it can be embedded or integrated to different applications or a different web portal also. Okay, where an end user can see all his information at single point, where he creates the information and where he can view the information also at the same location, which is called integration part of it. The next BI would be the integration of your applications into multiple web portals. So you see all your web applications in one single locations. Apart from this, you have something called extensions and widgets. So whichever visualizations is not available, this extension widgets is not available at Qlik Sense Cloud, but is available at enterprise and desktop. You can build your custom visualizations. If a customer has seen that something he has seen in Tableau, a custom visualization which is possible in Tableau, which is not given like in-house visualization in Qlik Sense, but can be built using an extension object. Extension objects, or if you saw some object from some other application, you can bring it and use it in Qlik Sense. That is called an extension objects, third-party application, which is built on a D3JS on a cloud platform or on a Java platform, not a cloud, on a Java platforms. Or those applications or those visualizations can also be used. So we'll also be going through some extension objects, not to build an extension object, but how to use the extension objects which are already available. Okay, so these are the three products. So once you build a Qlik Sense desktop, you can upload to enterprise, you can upload to cloud. Any of these can be also done. You can directly build the dashboard on the enterprise or on the cloud, or if you have built on a desktop, you can again export or import to a cloud. Clear?
I have a question.
Yes.
With the Qlik Sense account, what is that you're paying for? It says it's free online, but you said something we will need to pay for storage or
Qlik Sense Cloud, right?
something.
See, for a practice right now, let's suppose you can use it free online. You can just log into qlikcloud.com and you can register yourself. You can use it. But now let's suppose that is limited to I think 250 MB of data, not 250 MB of data you can use. But now you say, yeah, Pavani.
I got it. Thank you.
Okay. So if it is a small business, okay, he says that okay, I just need it for 10 GB of data, okay, and for 5 users. So this is only my requirement. Okay, I don't want a full setup of enterprise, and I cannot afford to maintain at my end. So I'll go for a Qlik Sense Cloud. Okay, I'll just pay for so like any other cloud applications. All the cloud applications like AWS or Azure, what do they do? Is maintained by them, and an end user just pays as per the requirement, right? How many number of users are logging to them based on the number of users, based on the number of GB of data they store there. Right. So that's the same thing, the same format of SaaS software as a service. SaaS software as a service. You pay as per your use. All right. So now these are the different services: QRS, Qlik Sense repository services, repository database, proxy services, scheduler services, engine services. Okay. When we go to PMC part, I'll again come back on these services. Now on the how the development cycle happens. When it's on Qlik Sense desktop, whenever you create an applications, it creates something called QVF file. Okay, and with this QVF file, we store everything: your data, your UI layer, your connections, data connections. Everything is stored in this QVF file. Okay, and all of this each application would be having your Qlik engine also. Everything will be working, and it works on a local host called 4848. So there's a port it will be using on a local desktop.
I have a doubt. Is QVD and QVF are different?
Yes, QVD is just a data file. QVF is it consists of a data and it consists of visualization. It's your dashboard application. I'll show you the difference. We'll create both the things. Now, if you see, what is this? This is your QVF file. Okay, so what is this consisting of? It is consisting of your data. It consisting of your visualizations, a different set of visualizations. Okay, it consists of a data model viewer, or it's a data model where you can see the relationship between multiple tables. How the tables are linked. You can see the tables. 2 many tables. Don't worry on this. So there's a set of tables which are linked to each other. Okay. So all the tables are linked. Okay. I have to give a space so that you can see the tables. Okay. So different tables are linked. You see these are your keys. So how the tables are linked. So now suppose I say how these tables are linked. Okay, we'll come back to this. This is called your QVF. This is your QVF. But your QVD is nothing but just a data file. Each table is one QVD here. Okay, we will have to separately create a QVD. We'll understand that also. So this is your desktop architecture. Now you also have an enterprise architecture or application lifecycle. So as a developer, you would be creating a QVF file. Okay, build all your visualizations, data model, everything. Now you would want to share it to your end user. You want to publish it. So what you do from a desktop, you move on to your Qlik Sense hub, which is an enterprise server. From there, it is published with the help of QMC. They publish the application to a stream. Okay, stream is nothing but a group. From the stream, so given access to the stream to a particular user. Let's suppose I give an access to Ramakrishna to this stream. He will be having an access to this application, a dashboard. If I don't give him an access to the stream, he won't be having any access to the stream. Okay, any access to this application. So this is how a life cycle works. So once you build a dashboard, it can be on a browser, on a local desktop. If you're building on a local desktop, you upload it to enterprise browser. No, if you say I directly build a dashboard on the browser itself, then from the browser you move on to, you publish it because you're already on the hub, enterprise hub. From there, you just publish it to a stream to give an access to an end user. So the publishing activity is always taken care by Qlik Sense administrator. Given a permissions, a developer can also publish it, but most of the organizations that restrict it. A developer role would be only to create an application. From there, an administrator would take you to publish it, control the application, which users should have what access. Again, build on the business business logic or business users. Okay, we cannot decide, right, who should have an access or what information. All the security level of information can be controlled through a QMC and through a stream. Okay, and the next slide is, this is all about your associative principles. Green, selected is green, possible is white, alternative selection. Okay, we also see lighter gray, and something excluded is your gray color. So now let's, lot of theoretical happened. Now let's go on to the dashboard. So I would recommend you to download this application. I think you would have already downloaded from Ramakrishna. I'll share you the link. So you can just go to qlik.com. I think you said, right, you were already working. You might have already downloaded it. Have you downloaded it? So
in the current, yes, I do have it in the current company. I'm actually working.
Okay, you're already working on it. That's good. So okay, why is it enter Qlik.com. Yes. Go to products. So you should have a Qlik Sense. So you can just try it for free. In fact, it'll ask you to fill the details. So Qlik Sense. So we have two products. So if you say Qlik Sense Cloud, you just have to create an account. And if it's a desktop, you have to download it. So it'll ask you to register the form. So create your email and password. Keep it handy because it will help you to, in further case, help you to access Qlik Community, help you to access Qlik Cloud, help you to download Qlik View. It's a single login. It helps you for everything. Okay. So rest all information you can fill whatever you wish, but email and password is very important so that you use it in future. Okay. Once you download, just fill the form and it'll ask you to approve and it'll download. Once you download, okay, should always find out the root folder. In the documents, so by default it comes down to your documents folder. You need not search anywhere. Documents, Qlik. Okay, within this Qlik, in this you have your apps. These are all your QVF files. This is a root folder. All your applications will come and store in this folder only by default. Now let's go ahead and create one application. Okay, so I'll close this application. Now let's create a new app. This is my desktop. So once you download, you'll get a desktop icon. Double click on the icon. It'll ask you to login credentials again. Every time it'll ask you login credentials, username and password. Okay, to log in it. That's the reason you have to keep your login credentials handy. Don't forget it. So once you log in, okay, that's it says application specific to an user. Okay, from here, if I click on this cloud, you see this cloud symbol on the top. Yeah, Ram.
I need to download it as a separate, like a Qlik Sense and Qlik View.
Yes, both are two different tools. You have to download separately.
Okay.
I'll also show you the Qlik View also. Okay, so this is Qlik Sense. This is Qlik View. Both are two different tools completely.
Okay.
Okay, and both work on a two different way on the visualization front also.
Okay, the one which you asked us to download, to create, that's for the Qlik Sense Cloud, right?
That's the reason. Your email ID, your password would work for everything. Qlik Sense Cloud, you can download. It's the same in the same place. You can also download Qlik View also. Okay, in the same place, or if you say I would want to log into Qlik Cloud, okay. So here there is a cloud symbol. You see my desktop on the right hand side top corner. See there is a cloud symbol. The same thing, if I click this cloud, it will open a qlikcloud.com. This is a qlikcloud.com. I can directly log into qlikcloud.com. These login credentials, here the login credentials are also same what we use it to download. So it'll ask you the same login credentials. I actually saved it because it's Chrome browser, I can save it. This is qlikcloud.com. Okay, where you can directly build an application. So we'll also see how to build an app directly on the Qlik Cloud also. Okay, now let's go to the desktop once again. I'll say create new app. Okay, I'll just say it as my demo app. Create an app name should always be distinct. If I have some other application like NetDemo, it will throw me an error. Create. As soon as I created an app, if you go back and check, see a demo.pvf got created in your root folder. at 4:7:43 a.m. an app got created. Okay, we still didn't load any data, so open an app. So there are two ways of loading the data. The first part is called data manager. The second one is your script editor. Okay, script editor is a manual way of loading data. Data manager is for your automated. Okay, where it will take care of all your. So where a cognitive engine is enabled through a data manager. Okay, so, but this we'll learn it later classes, because once you learn this, you won't be interested to learn through script editor, because all of your activities, your visualization, everything can be done automated through here. Okay, but this is for a non-technical person who is not a non-technical. Okay, he is just a business user. He would want to create a visualization, so he can directly, and a neat and clean data file, he can go ahead and use this data manager. But I would want to go to script editor first. We'll come back to data manager once again. Go to script editor. Here we have 5 layers. This is your scripting engine or scripting layer. Okay, if you go to this navigation button, you have 5 layers. App overview is our front end, where we create our visualizations. Data manager, you can use only data manager if you are loaded through data through the first option, the data manager option. The second one is your, third one is your data load editor. This is your data load editor. We call it as scripting layer also. So you can do all of your scripting part here. Okay. The fourth one is your data model view, where you can, once you load your, why is it grayed out? These two are because data, we are in data load editor right now. That's the reason it is grayed out, because we don't have any data at this point of time. That's the reason, or any table is not loaded. That's the reason data model viewer is grayed out. Once you load it, okay, I have an issue on my local desktop. McAfee is actually blocking a few connectors to load. That's the reason I always get this error. Okay, then we have hub. Hub is nothing but yours. This part here, hub, open hub. Okay. Now, if I have to load a data, I have to create a connections. So when I say create new connection, there's a multiple connections here. Different types of connections you can load. So starting from Amazon Redshift, your Hadoop connections, Apache Hive connections, or you can simply use your OLEDB, ODBC connections to connect to a SQL server, or to Vertica, which is a different. So we'll be seeing both of these connections, SQL server and Vertica connections, OLEDB and ODBC connections. You can to Oracle, all are different databases. Okay, and now we'll just load one flat file, an Excel file. Further, you have to go to all files, which is a folder location. Now you cannot directly pick the file from anywhere. You have to first find out the path. So let me pick the path. Let's pick one data file from here. So copy the path, paste the path here, wherever your data files are stored. Just have to paste the path here. You have to define a name to this folder, or define a name to this path. Okay, I'll just say this is my data path, or my data path name is db1 is my data, or my end folder name is db1. So I'll just name it as db1. You can name it anything. As a create. Once I say create, a connection would get created. Okay. Now come back to a script layer. What is this? These are your variables, set variables. These are called set variables. What are they defining? They're defining what should be a thousand separator, what should be a decimal separators, what should be a money format. Okay, and it's the first weekday. So like 6 means, so it will be starting from Sunday onwards. Okay, on which day of your week should start? It should start from Sunday or should start from Monday. Okay, if I say I would want to start it from Monday, I should say it is 7 days a week. Okay, if I say 5, it will be like Monday to Friday, and your week will start from Saturday. So that, because why is this flexibility is given is country to country week start is different, right? Like suppose if you go to Arab countries, okay, so they have a off on Friday and Saturday, so their week starts on Sunday. So based on that, I guess, okay, so you can say when should your week mostly calculations. Basically, you say I would want to see last 1 week. So your last 1 week means from which week I would want to start. Whether I should start from see from 24th of March or 25th of March. Okay, so that will define you from which day of your week to start. Then your month names, long names, short names, and all the stuff. Okay, these are your set variables. Every application, these variables, if you go into your ClickView application also, you would see same set of variables. Okay, so this is your ClickView applications. We'll go to ClickView once again later. Now let's load a data file. So go to first icon, select data. So what all files are there in the path defined? So in this path, in this folder are these many Excel files. Okay, from here I can choose any of my files. Choose one file. So here it will show you some preview of your data. So sales data is my workbook name actually. So in my Excel you have workbook names, right? So there's an Excel workbook name. And what is 30? 30 is nothing but my number of columns which I'll be going to load. Okay, all the columns are ticked. Now if I say I don't want to load a particular column, I say I don't want to do I'm not doing any reporting on address. I'll uncheck address. You say it becomes 29. So now we'll be loading 29 columns. See, as soon as I remove it, it would go from the load statement. So when I enable it, I see an address column here. Okay, as soon as I uncheck this, it will go. As well as I don't want something else also. Maybe let me pull right. Maybe phone number also, I don't know. So these are your necessary columns. Okay, so now it became 28 columns. Okay, and what is this format? What format we are loading? We are loading in Excel, XLS format. Is it Excel, XLS, SX, XLS, HTML, QVD, QVX? So QVD file also we can be load. Okay, so multiple formats we'll discuss. And what is embedded field names? Let's suppose right now I'll say no field names. Okay, sometimes when you load in Excel files, this situation you'll get only when you're loading Excel files. You may get see something like this: @1, @2, @3, @5, something. Okay, so in that case, your column names are below. So you have to say that my column names are inside my file. So please use so it says embedded field names. My field names are already embedded in the file. Please consider that. Okay, and sometimes in Excel sheets, you also get, I think Excel sheet is working. You may also get something like headers on the top of, right? You want to skip the headers. Let's suppose I say when I want to skip one row. Okay, let's suppose they have given some header. Okay, merged column or something is there. When I can skip one row actually. The header size will skip a row. Now you see my column names, my records became a header actually, which is wrong in fact. You can skip this. You can skip the rows. We'll also see if any file is there. Now insert my script. When I insert a script, what you get to see? You get to see a load statement and from. What is this load statement? Just simply think that like a select statement. You are a SQL, you are a SQL developer, you might understand much. It's just like in place of load, if you put select, it's something like select column names from my database. Simple. How you write a query in, always we can read like this. Okay, if you say the confusion, but when I write a select, I cannot use any click functions. Okay, that's the reason it became black. But select statement is still blue color. Select function, it still recognizes it. Okay, load is a function which helps ClickView to recognize these are my Qlik Sense or ClickView to recognize these are my column names from this my library path. You see, it does not show you the complete path from where you're loading. It says library, lib is nothing but library from a db1 folder, and within that folder I'm loading this getting started Excel file. Within this Excel file, this is my workbook name or my sheet name. Okay, and you also see the embedded labels, and table is sales data file. So once you load this, so each statement in Qlik would be ended with a semicolon. Every statement would be ended with a semicolon, and column is ended with a comma. Like simply like a select. If you write multiple columns in a select statement, same thing. You have to separate it by column names, and column names should be unique within the table. Okay, and define some name to this
Ravi,
express. Yeah, Ram.
can we give any alias names?
Yes, I'm coming back to that. Okay,
And
first
what
let's
about the null values?
we have to consider everything.
If
Null
we
values
have,
also will be loaded. If you have null values,
okay,
those also will be loaded. Okay, and we'll see how to restrict null values or how to handle null values. Okay, all of those things we'll consider, we'll discuss in the further classes.
okay,
Okay, now first let's define a table name. So click all. You can. It's not mandatory to define a table name, but it's always a good practice to define a table name. Let's suppose this is my sales table. Okay, table name with 2 columns, then only it will define as a table name. So if I don't write a column, also it will show me an error. Okay, where is the error? If you see something like dark red means the error is on the top of the row. Okay, so give a column. Now let's suppose I remove a comma here. Okay, so the error is not shown on this column, but at the bottom column means if there is a dark red here means the error is on the top of the top row. Okay, this is an indication you to go where to search your errors. Okay, if you have made any mistake in a scripting, where to search an error, this will be an indication for you. Now say I would want to rename any column, you can just simply alias your name, contact name as, simple, as we write an alias name in there, there's a contact name and name, I would want to name this customer name. But when I alias my name and if I try to give a space, okay, it is treating as 2 different values or 2 different column names. So in this case, you have to enclose again with a square bracket, same as equal, or enclose with the double quotes. Okay, always save your script. If some changes you have made and there is script error, okay, while executing it, it will go the changes. Okay, so always save the changes. Now let's execute this. We just brought the script, we just wrote a select statement, we still didn't execute this. Let's go back to load data on the right hand side top corner, load data. It'll execute this statement. Now what is this? This is your execution progress window, which will show you how much time it has taken, how many records, how many number of records we are loaded. And I said, right, it creates a binary index. So it's creating binary search index. For each of the column, a binary search index is it will get created. Every column it creates search index. Okay, if there are any errors or some synthetic keys, I will discuss about what is synthetic keys, what are these errors. Okay, so it will tell you all of this details here. Okay. By default, you can, if you enable this, once the data is loaded, automatically it will get closed off. Okay, why I kept it open is because I just wanted to explain, as there is a always disable it. But if you enable this, close when successfully when finished, let's suppose now I run once again, so it gets automatically closed. Within a fraction of seconds it gets closed, you won't be able to see it. Okay, you also can directly go to analysis layer, which is a front end layer, or you can go from here, app overview also. But if I go from here, it will open in the same window. It opens in the same window. If I would want to keep it multiple windows, multiple tabs open, so I would want to keep my scripting layer also be open. And if I click on app overview, open in a new tab also will be opened here. Okay. Before going to the app overview, we'll go to data model viewer. Now you see data model viewer is enabled. Go to data model viewer. We have loaded one single table. Just see one table here, and you can see the preview of the data over here. Select the table, you can see the preview of the data. Select a column, you can know the information about that column. Okay, how many number of distinct records, density, subset ratio will explain what are these things. Okay, whether this column has duplicates or not. Yes, category ID has duplicates. How many distincts are there? 8 distincts are there. Okay, present distinct and total distinct are two different concepts here. Present distinct, when we associate the tables, we'll come back to that again. Present distinct and associated distinct. Okay, so let's suppose customer ID. How many total customers are there? Okay, how many non-null values are there? And let's suppose if some column has null values, that will also it will show you it. I think I have in facts column I have null values. Okay, you see non-null values are only 1622, and the information density here is 74.5%. Means other, maybe let's suppose if I take 75%, the 25% is my null values. The 75% of the column has a null data, and rest is my null values. So that is what information density. We'll discuss in detail about the information density. Come back to your app overview. So this is your app overview, which is your front end layer. Here you can design it. So you can write your title to a dashboard. You can give some description. What dashboard? Dashboard. I said this is my retail. So this description will help an end user to know what is going to get about within this dashboard. Okay, you're just giving him the information about this dashboard. Go to settings. You also have a few settings here. Okay, let's suppose I say I would want to set my background color of my sheet. Okay. Where this background color will set, I'll also show you. Let's go. I say I'm choosing two colors, dark blue and lighter blue. Okay, if I would want to use some logo on my dashboard, let's say I don't have any logos. Let me use some just simple orange. Okay, where do I want to align my logo? What should be my font color? All of these settings we can change. For the settings, we'll come back again. And now go to the sheet. So this is your sheet. You can rename your sheet name also. You can just edit and you can just say my sheet name. Okay, this is my dashboard application. My sheet name is dashboard, and you can. So if you have multiple sheets, what are the each sheet you're getting? This is my summary information. Okay, so you click on this plus symbol, and this is a your detailed information. Okay, if a person needs a detailed information, he will go to detail sheet. If a person needs high level information, summary information, he'll go to summary sheets. So that's how you design your dashboards. Okay, go to summary. This is where, so these are the settings what we created, the blue color, dark blue and lighter. It works like a gradient, a company logo here. You can place your company logos. Okay, so creation of dashboard, we'll see tomorrow how to use this. If you go inside, if you say edit, so right now, so this is a blank space. So the sheet is empty. Click on this pencil symbol, edit. As we go into edit, it will show you all the list of columns what we have loaded. Then we have loaded some 28 columns, so all the list of columns what we have loaded. So these are the fields. Master items is a different. If you go to the charts, so what are different types of chart types we can create? All of the chart types. If any custom objects, you can also load this custom objects. Yes. Well, installation, you have to also take care of two things. So you'll be installing the Feb version of Qlik Sense. Okay, only the latest version is available on your web browsers. While installing, only the latest version is available. You won't get older versions. While installing, it will ask you whether you would want these two things. Click dashboard bundle Okay, click visualization bundle. Dashboard bundle is came in November edition and November September edition. Visualization bundle it came in the Feb edition. Okay, these are additional custom visualizations. Apart from these visualizations, these are some custom visualizations. You have to enable those. It will ask you to check tick mark. Okay, while installation, be careful. Please install these things. Okay, so dashboard bundle has few additional objects like navigation buttons, some share options, okay, some tabbed containers and all those things. We'll discuss this. Okay, so download this. We'll discuss it tomorrow. Clear? Any doubts till now?
No, Ravi.
Pavani? Pavani, I'm not able to hear you if you're talking. No, I cannot hear you. Anyways, we'll meet tomorrow, same time, 7 o'clock. Thank you. Have a great day. I think my next session is starting. Bye, Pavani and Ram. Arnati, I'll connect you back again. I have to close the recording.
Okay, sir.